All right, boatmates, shipwriters, gonna show you how to make a monkey's fist today. I know when I got out of the Navy, we had switched over to the polypropylene lines and the foam balls, and when I got out, we were still using the polypropylene lines and the foam balls with C and Anchor and 1 Alpha. Disclaimer, any of you young boatmates planning on making a monkey's fist and using it, before you cast it over, make sure you let your first class know. If you're first class and you're getting ready to cast over a monkey's fist, make sure you let your chief know. Before I get started, if you're on your phone, reach down your finger, hit that subscribe button. And if you're on your computer, click the subscribe button for me. All right, well, the first thing you need is some sash cord. And before you get started, go ahead and measure out 1.5 fathoms. You don't remember? Fathom 6 feet. Fathom and a half. All right, for this size ball, or this size weight, and for the line I'm using, I'm gonna guess I'm gonna need to make about 4 wraps. And 4 wraps, and 4 wraps. You'll see what I'm talking about when we start doing this. And that should cover an object about this size. If it doesn't, you undo it, and you go 5. But as you do more and more, or make more and more monkey's fists, you'll get a better eye on how many wraps you need to use for the size of weight you have. Working in, standing in. Okay, standing in, you want to make sure you got that 1.5 fathoms. So hold it, and 3 fingers, 1, 2, 3, 4. You can wrap it 4 times. So on one side you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, but on the other you have 1, 2, 3, 4. All right. And at this point, you can wrap it around. So you still got 1, 2, 3, 4. We'll go around 1, 2, 3, 4. So we should have 4 on the back side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on the front side. And at this point, this is where we're going to add our weight. There's our weight. And drop it right inside there. You notice I'm keeping my finger in there so it doesn't ride over. We don't lose our spot. Okay, so at this point, take your working in, you go back through. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And they'll go around, back through. 1, 2. You want to try to keep these lays or strands somewhat parallel or even, because it's going to make a difference when you go back to tightening it. One, two, this is 2. Pay attention, I'm not switching my working in. My working in's always been on the left side. I'm just flipping it back and forth so I can get my line through a little easier and you can guys see it better. That's 3. That's 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, so we're short on our working end. So we're going to give ourselves some slack at our beginning of from our standing end, because we're going to start taking up all the slack around monkey's fist. You're not going to do it tight. This is not a fast process. You don't crank it down. You just want to work the slack out, because you want to make sure these lays, see how it's crossed over? Goes over across. because it's supposed to be over here, like so. And this will be important when you start tightening it up. So it's crossed side by side. And at this point, don't tighten it up. All you're doing is making sure the lays are laid out side by side, getting any additional slack out, and we're trying to extend our working end because it's going to be important when we get done. So we got extra line now. We still need a little bit more. So when we tighten up, we're always going to pull from our working side. And I just want to give a little bit more. And we're going to, as you do this, each time you go around, you're going to make it just a little bit tighter. Pull it just a little bit tighter. And depending on what you're using, it's going to be important that when you start really tightening these up, that you don't pull too hard on the outside and not hard enough on the inside, because then it'll wobble it. And if you pull too hard here before everything's tight, you'll pinch all this up and it just won't look good. So consistency is key. Oh, see, I went the wrong way. That's all right. Get this real quick. And if you go too tight too quick, it'll also misshape it. All right, so we got more. Work standing part, standing end, working end. 1, 2, 3, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. Add the weight. Around. Do 1. 2, 3, 'It's almost went over my standing part. I gotta make sure I stay under it. Four. 1, 2, 3, 4. You'll notice that the standing end and the working end are diagonal from each other. You wouldn't want to have your working end come out the other side. If it did, then you did something wrong. Just like before, I'm going to make sure that the first one in is at the top, I guess. All kinds of crossed up on this one. Struggling here, so cut this out. It's not part of the video. Can't stress the importance of keeping all these legs side by side when you're doing this. If you were watching and paying attention, you'll see that I was struggling and trying to get them all laid out side by side. Right here on this side, when you pull on this one, you don't want to pull it too tight. You don't want to pinch all these up. Around on the inside. I should be able to pull this one. I'm putting a little pressure right here when I'm pulling through, kind of help with keeping everything laying flat and even. No, went the wrong way. See, it's short, went the wrong way. Got so many tangles. But now it's all laid out properly. There's no worries to feed it back the other way. Right, see how it's getting off? That's why you don't tighten it down really tight when you start doing this. A little bit at a time. And I extend my working end. Once you get it all tight, it looks like this. And a quick note, a traditional monkey fist is not this big. It is bigger. This is small. This is just for you guys. The next thing you're going to want to do is standing, working, put a half hitch in it. Kind of work it down. The half hitch will move. Alright, so now that you tied the monkey's fist, got your half hitch in it, now what do? You can't just throw it and expect anything to happen. So you need to measure it out. Measure it out, I don't know, about that much I guess. You got a couple of options. Throw a overhand knot into it. A little long. Make your adjustments. Cut the rest of it off. Put a little whipping. And you're done if you want to go that far. If you want to go fancy with it, a little pride of professionalism, you can put a barrel knot in it. How you do a barrel knot, you ask? Thank you for asking. Simple. One, just like an overhand knot, it's going to go through twice. Check the length. There you go. The reason I'm doing this is because I know the length like this is about the right length for most people. Years of experience. But the overhead barrel knot looks like nicer. Cut it, whip it, and then you're done with your heaving line and your monkey's fist. But I'm gonna throw an added bonus, just in case you don't know how to throw it. You're gonna take it, coil it up in your right hand, if you're right-handed. Just like so. May notice I'm not making my loops or bites go below the monkey's fist. See? Keep it above the monkey's fist. And as I'm coiling it, I'm keeping it flat in my hand. And there's a reason for that. That's good enough for me because I know how much I need in this hand. because when you coil up your next set, you open your fingers up, and when you do this coil, the length of it doesn't matter as much. Still keep it all even, just for keeping it even. Do it that way, so when you pull it apart, you only have one strand or one line between the two. And then when you get ready to throw it, your monkey's fist doesn't get tangled up in your bites, just in case they get ready to throw it and you gotta stop for some reason. You're still good to go. All right, guys, thank you for watching. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button. Hit that little bell icon for me too, so you can get notifications of future videos. I appreciate it.